One of the streamers accused you guys of purposely losing to a team in order to get an easier lineup in the next round.
Let's say we did not give our best to win the war, that's true.
All the Italians are wrong, the pineapple belongs to the pizza.
And actually there was a second guy we were thinking of. We can also reveal it. I mean, I don't think that's a complete secret.
Boom and Ass from Alternate Attacks on the live stream. Guys, welcome so much. How are you doing?
Oh, hello everyone. I'm perfectly fine today.
Boom, how are you doing?
I'm also fine, guys. Nice to be here. And yeah, looking forward for the questions you have for us. Yeah, and hopefully we have some fun here.
Happy days. This was one of these like random things where I was on Boom, one of your streams, and you were asking me about, I think, Darian, and I was like, I want to get you on, and you were like, aye, okay. And it just blows me away. And then asked, I think, like, I was basically gave Boom the option to, I said, you can bring everyone on if you want. And I think you were either he asked everyone and everyone else said no, or you were the only one brave enough or the lucky person to be asked first. We'll let Boom decide what way he wants to phrase that. Did you ask first? Was he the only guy that you wanted on beside you?
Now the thing is that actually the truth is that we actually I'm asking like questions into the server, like where everyone is. They're just like general question. Oh, hey, I'm doing a Monday interview with I'm with you, and is there anyone interested who will do it with me? And actually, like nobody answered because it was like general question to the group. So I just asked the people one after another in private messages, and us said, yeah, why not? Let's go with the interview.
Happy days, brilliant. Well, guys, I'm very chuffed to have you on, so thank you so much. Now, you've seen, like everyone else, you've seen all the questions in advance. These are just your quick-fire questions, nice and easy ones. So the first one is, when did you start playing Clash of Clans? So, Boom, go for it. Tell us first.
I'm actually always confused when I exactly started, but I would say 2014, so 7 years ago, or 2013. Like 13 or 14, so like 7 or 8 years ago I started.
See, I use the decorations to remind me to work out when it is. That's how I used to gauge it, and I use Clash's stats or something to work out when the little obstacles, the special obstacles that spawned, when it was. What about you, Ass? How long have you been playing?
I'm also a bit confused, but I think 2013 somewhere around that time. But I also can't tell the exact date.
Happy days. A few years, though. That's what we're saying. What about favourite town hall? Ass, we'll start with you this time. What's your favourite town hall level?
That's actually a difficult one because there has been so many great town halls on the way up. But from the recent ones, I think Town Hall 12, the meta was really nice. It was difficult to triple. The wars were like 12, maybe sometimes 13 stars. I think that was one of the best ones recently.
Just because of the way the meta and the balance and all that sort of stuff, that's why you like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. I like that. What about you, Boom? What was your favourite?
I would say my favorite town hall was Town Hall 10, but at the time when the Inferno beams prevented healing. That was years ago, but at that time, like tripling was super hard.
When it was proper nails.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I would say that this was maybe the time where I had maybe the most fun because I spent like 4 hours planning for just one attack. I mean, at that time it was crazy, but still, like looking back, I'm kind of jealous of that time that actually tripling was challenging.
You're right. You spent 4 hours planning an attack, but you probably spent about 4 hours cooking the attack as well. Because I'm pretty sure that's when a golem took like 45 minutes to cook, and then you're like, I don't need my golem anymore. Delete, and that was just like the pain involved in deleting a troop.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't remember about that anymore. Probably I just jammed also at the time back. So yeah,
always been a dirty jammer. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Happy days. What about favourite strategy? Boom, let's stick with you for this one. What's your favourite strategy or favourite troop? Whatever way you want to go with this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have something like a favorite troop, but I would say favorite strategy right now. Obviously, I would just go with Blizzard Lalo because I'm just using it most of the time in my Legend League attacks. So that's what I'm most comfortable with.
And what about you, Ast? What's your favourite strategy or troop?
Even though Lalo is maybe not the best strategy at the moment, I've been playing Lalo for like the past 5 years, like most of the attacks. So yeah, all kinds of Lalo attacks are my favorite.
Just all Lalo. I love that. Sui Lalo, Queen Charge Lalo, Blizzard Lalo, just everything Lalo. Love that. I mean, you guys are like ATN in general are known for their Lalo. I remember watching you guys. I think it was the I can't remember what the name. I remember that the tournament never paid you guys for winning it. I remember that. It was the South American tournament. I can't remember the name of it now. Torino something. It was anyway. That's not important. But it was a best of two final, and the guys had obviously built against Lalo for the first war, and you guys, I don't know if you lost it. I can't even remember who you were up against, but you lost the first war, or you came close to losing the first war, because Lalo just didn't. All their bases were built against Lalo, and so in the second war, you guys just came in with like mass hogs and dragons, and it was just like it was Town Hall 13. It was last year sometime. I think someone said it there. Yeah, the Panamericano. Yeah, the Torino Panamericano. Smithers, thank you, man. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, like, don't know how well you remember every game that you played, but I remember streaming that one because I just remember it being such a shot. I think you lost War 1 and then War 2, you basically just totally changed up your strategies and absolutely smashed it. There was hybrid all over the place and mass hogs and all sorts of stuff. Sorry, I've just thrown a question in on you there, guys. There you go. Do you remember that tournament?
As you?
No, I don't remember a single match. All I remember is that we didn't get the prize money.
Just didn't get paid. That's all you remember about it. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. It was
me neither. I think I also do not remember the exact war. Actually, like it's surprising that you remember it, and we as players do not remember that. But I can kind of. I think I remember that something like that happened. What you just described, that Lalo did not go well. So we said, okay, let's go with something different. So what they probably do not expect from us doing that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it was a real. You could. I think it was so apparent because it was such a shift in your game plan, and it just really proved that you guys are not like one trick ponies. Like, oh, we are really good at Lalo. But actually, if you build against Lalo, then we're kind of a little bit scuppered. That second and third war, I think the third war, you guys mixed it up and you had stuff going on each way. Anyway, how often do tournaments run that you guys take part in that then you don't get paid for? Is that quite rare, or is that quite a common thing? Thank you for the follow, man.
Yeah, I just followed. Yeah. Like I actually saw few times from other teams also that they kind of got scammed from the organizers, that they didn't receive the money. Like so far from our side, it just happened actually just from the Torneo Cup, just once out of so many tournaments where we received the prize money. So it's not so common. It's like that's rather good. The minority of the tournaments.
Happy days. I'm just trying to read chat at the same time. People are accusing you of doing your Legends hits. It's because he's watching the stream, guys. Spawn's like, Boom's doing his Legends hits while he's doing the video. Boom did his Legends hits live on stream earlier on. We all saw it. Well, some people saw it. Anyway, next one. Where does your in-game name come from? So, Ast, do you want to start us off for this one? Tell us the background behind your in-game name. And then, Boom, you can sort us out with this.
Yeah, it's actually pretty weird how it came up with us, because my little sister, she was riding ponies when she was really small, and she changed the account name to what her pony was called, Astrid. And then I was left with Astrid, and then I just shortened it, and just came up with Ast.
I love that. That's so the smile on your face. For a second, I thought you were going to say it's really boring. It's my name or something like that. But that's an awesome story. Happy days. Boom. What about yours?
I mean, few of you guys know my real name, not really, but theoretically, for example, on ESM Meisterschaft internet site, they are all our real name listed, and my real name is actually Zhang Bum. Like in the second part of my name is spelled B-U-M, and I just added one more M, like to look it like more fancy as a game name, and that's how it comes from. So actually, it's a part of my real name.
Part of your real name. Happy days. And Camille, thank you for the sub, man. Guys, there's been follows and subs and everything in here. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry, I'm missing stuff as it's going along. Halo also came in with a raid as well. Thanks. Happy days, guys. They're awesome names. I like that. Right, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning now. We'll take us all the way back, and I'm sure you guys have told this story before. But Boom, tell us about, you started as Dark Looters, and you still got quite a lot of the original team are maybe not, so Sir Iron maybe doesn't play in every match or quite a lot of matches, but he's still heavily involved in the team. So that's quite an interesting thing, I think, and quite a sort of a defining feature of you guys. But yeah, tell us about like the achievements of Dark Looters and then how you became ATN. Tell us about that.
Okay, I mean the story is kind of long, but I'll try to be keep it a little bit shorter. So the thing is that Dark Looters was my first ever competitive clan. I mean, for I think 1 or 2 years I played the game just casual, but at some point I said, okay, I kind of want to look for some competition. So I looked just, I was at that time watching Powerbank's video, and just randomly I saw Dark Looters. I mean, Powerbank featured by Dark Looters, and I saw that they are from Germany, and I live in Germany, so I said, yeah, why not just apply there? I actually had to do tryout to join there. I was thinking, oh, come on, this is just a mobile game. I have to type in my email address, my real name, my age, and my strategy, and then I have to do a tryout to join the clan. I was like, are you guys serious? It's just a mobile game, come on. But yeah, I just did it. Also at that time, very funny that Vale, I mean, my teammate right now from Elton, Vale was one of the guys who actually judged my my performance in the tryout to see whether I am appropriate, I'm good enough to join Dark Looters or not. Well, I passed it, and also one funny thing is that Vale told me that years later that he saw my attacks at that time, and he was like, "Oh my God, what is he doing? His attacks so weird," but somehow he triples. Okay, somehow he triples, but his attacks are actually weird and bad. But let's just let him join. So that was how it started, that I joined Dark Looters. And obviously the history said Dark Looters was this was a group of insane people. I mean, there was Yo-Yo playing, Itsu playing, Yves Czech playing, so many players who we know from the competitive scene today, coming from Dark Looters. And yeah, the story is that at some point, I mean, Vale, Yo-Yo, and me, we kind of all left Dark Looters to find our own ways, kind of. For example, Vale joined Dark Looters Z. Yo-Yo joined JOF. Actually, he's coming from JOF, but okay, he was then playing for JOF, and I went to a German clan named Clash Warriors. Also, funny thing is that for a long time, actually, all of us were kind of playing, as I said, in different clans, and were actually very hard rivals. We were actually competing in German leagues against each other. We were maybe also not always best friends, kind of to beat the other and maybe throw shade, maybe fight against each other, whatever. And then 2019, Supercell launched the World Championship, and then we thought, okay, guys, maybe let's come together, combine our strength to create maybe a team good enough to compete in for the World Championship. That's how we kind of came together in 2019, not really as alternate team, because at that time Vade and me was also playing actually for Tribe Gaming, But 2020, finally, we said, okay, guys, let's take it in our own hands. Let's also join Lenaide and Ast, obviously. And at the end, we became Alternate.
Awesome. Happy days. And did Alternate approach you guys, or did you guys approach that organization? How did that sort of come about?
I mean, the thing is, I think it's the same for all other Clash of Clans teams, I would say. I mean, Clash of Clans esport is not as big as other games, especially because it's just a mobile game and so on. Mobile game esport is still growing. So what people has to do is like they have to create a team, like we did. We started with the name JF, like JF Esport. And then after we kind of achieved some achievement. I mean, we qualified for World Championship at that time. We got the golden ticket. Yeah. And then we had something to provide the esport teams, something to prove that we are worth to be signed. So we were actually looking for like an esport team to work with. It was not Atn Atx from the beginning. Like we were actually looking for like many other esport teams potentially. At the end, we decided to work with Atn Atx.
Why did you guys choose Alternate then? What was it that they were providing that you thought this is the group that this is what we want our name to be? Because you guys are now like that is the name in Clash of Clans, Atn Atx. So what was it that made you decide to choose them as your name?
I mean, the thing is that, okay, first of all, like to be completely honest, I mean, we also talked with also like much bigger esport teams, like from like League of Legends, whatever, but they were not really completely interested or like, I mean, they didn't want to take the risk yet to invest in Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
So at the end, we had actually only 2, 3, or 4 options we had to go to. And Atn Atx as like a whole, like for first obviously the financial aspect, and also that they are coming from Germany. So it was also very important that they are, for example, not coming from Asia or from America because of the communications, because of the time zone.
Right.
I think those 2 things were the key points which made us go with Atn Atx.
Happy days. Brilliant. Right, sorry, so that was one line in the question sheet, and I've grilled you, Boom. I've thrown a whole load of extra questions at you there. Tell us about when you joined and how you came to join. Like, where did you play before Atn Atx, and when did you join the Atn Atx lineup?
I mean, I joined the lineup as we created the team pretty much. So after the Worlds 2019, because Boom and Yo-Yo and Vale were playing for Tribe before, and then Lenaide was playing for MCS in the previous year. Kind of, we all got together kind of at the same time in the Alternate. Cool. What I did before, like the whole year 2019, I was kind of looking for a team. So I was kind of jumping here and there, looking for a good competitive team, but I couldn't really find it until we got this team together. And how I actually got into knowing Yo-Yo and Vale and Iron was that we were playing the Cups, Town Hall Cups, first with actually Sir Iron, and then we won Town Hall 7 and 9 and lost the finals on Town Hall 11, and Sir Iron was there from the beginning, and then not sure on which cup, but Vale joined and Yo-Yo joined, so that's how I got to know those guys.
That so much comes back, so many stories that I hear from people comes back to that Town Hall 5, 6, 7, the Town Hall Cups. That, I don't know, that just seems like, so when Marinol was on talking about like how Marinol and Homa Beer talking about SSG, SSG came about because of that. Marinol obviously, INTZ came through on the Town Hall 10 sort of tournament side of things. That Town Hall Cup just had a huge impact on the competitive scene, much more than I think I ever really realised until I've started doing these interviews. Did you guys love that? Should Supercell bring that back?
As of right now, that there's like the whole competitive scene is built up again, and yeah, I don't know if that's where they should be investing in. I'm not sure. I mean, those were really a ton of fun, but none of the pro players have time actually to play those.
Yeah, that's a fair point, man. They were so much fun. But yeah, you're right. The way that the Town Hall 14 season, the World season, like if you look at it's 2 weekends a month, isn't it? Apart from you guys who, qualified in the first pre-qualifier, so you guys have just been chilling for 2 weekends, going on holiday and stuff. Anyway, so Lenaide has left. You went to Lenaide played with you guys in the May qualifiers, pre-qualifier, sorry, and you've brought in Mask. Now that seems like it's been kind of like a seamless transition. Were you guys worried when Lenaide stepped down, or when he told you were stepping down? Were you like, because he's a big player. He was like, you're all strong players, but he was a big player and a strong player in your setup. Was there a bit of like panic and worry there when he said he was going to retire? And how did you go about selecting Mask? There's sort of two bits there. I don't know if one of you want to answer one half of that, and one of you want to answer the other half.
Do you want to answer a specific half first? I mean, not sure.
I mean, I could maybe talk about Mask.
Okay, right. Yeah, obviously, the thing is that, like, I personally kind of somehow predicted that Lenaide at some point will say he will retire, because his activity in the last few months, like before he retired, obviously, the activity went down, like at when the time flight. And when he really decided, told us, hey guys, I really decided to step down from Clash of Clans. Obviously, he will continue playing until we find someone as his replacement. Otherwise, we are kind of screwed. But we are completely like this. I was completely sad, because it's I mean, it's obviously sad to lose a real friend. I mean, we played 1 year together, and you guys don't know how many hours we spent on voice, base testing, playing tournaments, and so on. I think Lenaide was also a very, very important, not only as a player for the team, but also as a person, his personality. He was always the guy who was very calm. If we had a problem, he always cared for the team, trying to kind of solve the problem with me together. And I thought actually if Lenaide retires, we kind of have not future. That's too extreme, but I would say that we also somehow lose a big part of our strength, so we may be not as successful as before. That's what I thought. But I'm thankful for Lenaide that he actually played with us until the golden ticket. I mean, we actually did not quite expect that we win the first golden ticket again. I mean, Lenaide was then still practicing the last week very intensively, that he helps us to win it. And after that, we knew that this was the last tournament for him. So it is hard to actually find motivation. I think this was really hard. At the end, we found a really nice replacement, Mask, and maybe can tell you how we did it.
Yeah. Before you answer that, sorry, full disclosure, I remember when Lenaide announced, I remember discussing on the Mac report, are ATN going to be as strong as they were without? So it's interesting you guys had that exact same thought process going through. That we discussed that. Are you guys as strong without Lenaide? Obviously, at that point you had just won the May qualifier, and we hadn't seen any other performances after that. Since we've seen you go on to kind of continue to dominate all summer, dominate the scene. So that's an interesting thing. But tell us about how you came about selecting Mask, and how easy it was to get him to come on.
Right. Where should I begin? We started kind of thinking like who could be the replacement, because most of the really good players are already part of a team. So we had to kind of look, are there any people that are really good that are still without a team? Because finding those was really not too easy. We had a couple of options here and there, but then at the end, because like I mentioned before, or did I mention? Not sure, but I played in Kronos like years back when we used to win like the no dip league seasons 1 until I don't know 4 or 5, something like this. And Mosk was part of that team back then in Kronos, and he was really good back in the day, and I knew he's still really good at the game. And also Iron was the other guy who knew Mask from the past, and he also agreed that he's a really, really good player. So that's how we had some arguments to not choose him. We had some arguments to choose him. We also had some arguments for some other people to ask them. But at the end, we thought Mask would be the best choice to ask for the team. And yeah, we're happy that he said yes.
No. I mean, I also want to add a little bit to this because it's actually interesting to talk about it. I mean, I'm not really comparing Elton as like a certain football team, but to really understand what, like, in which situation we were. Like, if we would, I always do like a comparison with football. Let's say, I mean, Barcelona this year, they lost Messi, right? Like the responsibles from Barcelona, they would also think, okay, we lost our best player. Okay, we have to replace him, and obviously the replacement has to be nearly as good as Messi. So it has, like, the standard is so high. So what we thought about is, okay, we need someone who is already proven to be a very, very good player. We need someone who has motivation. We need someone who is also has motivation for base testing. Maybe even it's even better if he actually builds bases. Okay, we need someone who actually also talks English. We need someone who doesn't have a team. We need someone who also maybe played also the previous meta. So it's not someone who just recently joined the competitive scene, like 1 year ago, whatever. We want this guy to be the old school, like or like playing the game for several years. This guy has to be very communicative. I mean, he has to fit into our team, not only skill-wise, but also like his personality-wise. We had so many things, at least because we wanted someone who is as good as Lenaide, not only as a player, but also as a person. And at the end, I mean, with so many standards, like looking for it, actually, I mean, us that we had some couple of like options, but actually no, like when we thought about all the players in the world existing, obviously someone who even if this guy is already in a team, I mean, if he is coachable, if we can like ask him, hey, do you want to leave your team and join Alternate? And if he thought that this guy would actually come, I mean, among those candidates, there were really actually no other than Musk. And actually, there was a second guy we were thinking of. We can also reveal it. I mean, I don't think that's a complete secret. So we were actually thinking between Musk and Itsu to join the Alternate team. We actually also asked Itsu about his opinion about the potential question about whether he joins or not. At the end, we decided with Musk, and I'm more than happy to have Musk here now.
Okay, well, that's okay. So, was the fact that Itsu was thinking about retiring from the competitive scene, did that have a big influence on it? Or yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I can totally see how both those players fit in. They're both fit naturally within the Alternate Attacks team. They've both got like what you're talking about in terms of personality and fitting in and being very dedicated, and also like the English speaking. I can see how both of those players fit in, but well, I mean that I think you've just given me the title for the video. I'll be honest. Itsu's definitely getting a mention on the video title when I put this on YouTube.
Oh, did I make a mistake?
No, man,
I think
that's
it's fine.
huge.
I
That's
think it's
absolutely
fine.
fine by me.
Yeah.
But that's very cool,
Yeah.
man. That's thank you so much. That's cool. So we've talked about loads and loads of stuff. I've thrown a question in here, so I've got like viewers' questions, but I got thrown this one. It kind of fits in quite well here. This is Time of Clash. Adam threw this one at me. He says, "You've won World Championships, literally the very top of Clash of Clans. What drives you and the team to keep going and to want to win it again? What is it? Why do you keep playing? Why have you not just finishing on a high, just saying, right, we're done? What's the motivation to keep going?"
Ask maybe?
Obviously, let's say we all love the game. We've been playing for really a long time, so it's also hard to let go. At least what I can speak for myself is that also like doing a normal job versus doing this. I feel like this is a lot more fun at this age. Yeah. What else is there? I'm bad at talking and thinking at the same time.
Hey, so you've got to first
maybe
of all,
Bob can continue with all the remaining points.
Yeah.
you guys have got to deal with my Scottish accent and the English isn't your guys' first language. I mean, there's a lot going on for you guys. This is hard work, I know. That's why I thought it was good to have more than one person on, so that you can have a rest and think about how you want to answer, and I'll also try and work out what the hell did I just get asked. Boom, go for it. You want to say something?
Yeah, all right. I mean, to answer the question, I would say that first of all, I would say that all of our team members, like every single one of us, is someone. I guess maybe it's obvious that we really hate to lose. We are like actually really salty if we lose. Like we are not a loser. So if we want to compete, like it's like this. Like if we decide to like join a competition, like a tournament, it's not like, oh, let's just maybe do some YOLO wars and look what happens. No, it's like that we want to win the tournaments, and we are like that. But that means that we were actually like some of us for sure thought about between 2020 and 2021. Do we want to continue playing or not? And for all of us was okay. We won the World Championship. Yes, there's nothing to reach even higher, but still, we want to keep at least one more year of competitive with this team. That's what we decided as a team. And after the decision, it was like, okay, we just go further. It's obviously hard to like kind of combine with your real life. Obviously, it takes so much time. But yeah, some sacrifices has to be done. But like after the decision, it was like, okay, everything or nothing. We want to win the World Championship again. That's how I feel like. Although our motivation is sometimes not always on the very high in the summer, like also after Golden Ticket, especially. But yeah, we always want to win. And the thing is that whenever we lose a war, we are kind of like completely down. Like we are not writing anything in our server, but at some point we're like meeting always together on voice normally, and actually talk about, okay, what happened actually, what was the problem. We always want to go to solve to see the problem and to make it better for the next war, so that we do not lose again.
And do you think that's part of the reason for your success? I did think about putting in a question about like, what is the secret to your success? But why would you share your secret for how you guys are doing so well? But like, is it the fact that you analyze your defeats, so you look back on stuff as well as sort of looking forward and planning? Because I know you've said before the planning process for wars, like in the Worlds, the pre-qualifiers, for example, you guys built against the HD family because you were up against them and you knew the strategies that they use. You'd analysed them, so you had built against those particular strategies. So I don't think I'm giving away a secret that you guys have said that before. But that analysing the losses as well, is that like what is it that that's setting you guys apart from everyone else? Do you know what it is?
I mean, yeah. I mean, ask you can answer.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know. I think we're really using really a lot of time. Also on the things that are not like the fun part of the game, like base building. Then doing all this scouting and analyzing the opponents, analyzing the losses and wins. I think there's a lot of work we do that probably many of the teams don't do as well. And in terms of preparation, both on offense and defense, I think that's at least one of the reasons why we're doing pretty well.
Cool. That's awesome. I had something else I was going to ask off the back of that, but I can't remember what it is. I got distracted when I thought of another question off the hoof there. So 2021, I've got written here, has been going well. I mean, that's probably a bit of an understatement. You guys have been kind of smashing it. When you won, you said that it was unexpected. When you won that pre-qualifier in May, were you a little bit worried that you were like, right, are you ready for the Worlds when it comes around? Do you feel that like your performances in like ESL Mobile Open and Clash Masters has reassured you guys that you're kind of on form, you're prepped for the Worlds, and you're going to be ready when it comes round? Or are you worried you might be a little bit rusty from that compared to some other players?
I think, I mean, we had this situation last year as well, and also this year the same. I mean, we got the we got the first golden ticket in 2020 as well this year. And the thing what happens is that after you got the golden ticket, and that's actually the highest priority for all the competitive Clash of Clans esports team, it is for sure. And after you reached it, and we know, okay, the World Championship will be in, not sure, like somewhere in winter, like, or November, whatever. So we have a lot of time. So the main goal obviously is then to win the World Championship, but we know and we can expect that the meta will change. So even if we now invest too much time to actually like kind of discover the meta will change anyway. So the thing is, why should we actually invest time to play? I mean, we can as well just do nothing for 6 months, and we can we come back for the last month to kind of play the World Championship. I mean, this is like kind of in the mind of every player who actually gets the golden ticket. So our motivation goes down. And we became rusty because nobody really kind of invest time into Clash of Clans. I mean, also, as a team also, we do not meet in the voice as much as before. We do not practice, we don't do base tests. And that's also why you may see also wars from us in the recent past weeks that we actually do not perform well. And actually, I actually think that this is not only happening to us, but also to, let's say, Queen Walkers or Tompina Empire. Yes, they are still world-class team, but if you compare their performance before they get the golden ticket and after their golden ticket, I mean, Tompina Empire, actually, I haven't seen any really like impressive wars from them since then. As well, Queen Walkers, I remember that Utah, I mean, the captain from Queen Walkers, he posted like recently their friendly warlock from Queen Walkers. They lost every second war somehow. Also, that shows that they also fall off from their normal like level, and that happens actually for everyone.
So, do you think that you've got yourselves on a trajectory that you're going to be ready for Worlds, or will that motivation that'll just come back and you'll just get yourself sort of prepared? You guys obviously know the preparation process that you put yourselves through. Are you confident that you'll be the team to beat when we get to Worlds proper?
Yeah, I mean, normally, asked to go.
Okay.
I love that Boom waits for Ast to answer, and Ast is always like waiting for Boom to answer. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, but like, I feel like we got now a pretty good vacation. We're not burning out from Clash, because that's also one thing that could happen if we just have to play every qualifier and put a lot of time all around the year. That would kind of burn you out and like make you enjoy the game a bit less because it's just too much. So I think it's also pretty positive to have some time off, and I'm sure every player will be motivated. Like the couple months before World Championship, we will be playing a lot for sure. And if someone's not playing, I think the whole team is pushing him to invest a bit more time and get the motivation back.
Nice. Awesome. And obviously, I've got one that was later on, but I'll ask it now as well. You just won, was the most recent tournament you've won Clash Masters? Is that the most recent one, or was it ESL Mobile Open? Can't remember the order. Anyway, doesn't matter. The question's about Clash Masters. So one of the viewer questions that I got on Twitter was from, I'm now desperate trying to remember the guy's name, Sarcasm, a nice name there. And he said that one of the streamers accused you guys of purposely losing to a team in order to get an easier lineup in the next round. Is it true, is what he's asking? Let's talk about that. First of all, congratulations for winning Clash Masters. Sorry. Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, Clash Masters was our, the recent tournament which we won, that's true. And what happened there was that it is actually true that in the war what we're talking about, and it was actually the war against Team 6 or something like that, a Japanese clan. We did not give our best to win the war. That's true, but the reason behind it is not because we actually wanted to dodge any clan. In fact, we actually did not even know who we would even face if we lose or win. The story behind is like this. I mean, we were at this time, at least the Germans, because of the vaccination, only the Germans went to the vacation. So Ivan, Valo, Yo-Yo, and me, we were for 1 week in Croatia. I mean, we also posted some nice pictures on Twitter that we kind of are having dinner, whatever. And the thing is that we knew that if we go to the players for Clash Masters, the Clash Masters players consists of a Group A and Group B. And Group A will play on Monday, and Group B will play on Tuesday. We knew that on Monday is the day where we traveled back to Germany. And some of us, I mean, especially Yo-Yo, he's sitting in an airplane at this exact same time when Clash Masters is. So it is impossible to play for us on Monday if we would be on Group A. And I mean, because of this in advance, I mean, before we played this match against them, like 1 day earlier, I actually sent a private message to our Clash Master admin, and I was like, I did not even know the rules before. So I said, oh, hey, we are going back on Monday, and if we are Group A, then we cannot play there. So can you please put us in Group B so we can play on Tuesday? On Monday, we can really impossibly play. And he was said, oh, no, I cannot just simply put you in Group B, but I can tell you that if you are somehow 4th or 2nd the next day, then you will be put into Group B automatically. Use this information how you like. That's the reply from the admin. So yeah, I mean, we knew we had to somehow lose the final, that we are in Group B without knowing who we will face actually in Group B or Group A. It was just important that we play on Tuesday. Otherwise, we cannot do hits on airplane. That was the reason why it happened. I mean, yes, we did not give our best somehow. We know also that some streamers from the outs, I mean, they obviously they didn't know really the true reason behind why our attacks look like this. But I can also tell you guys, I mean, there are maybe 5, 6, 7 teams in a row who can beat us on any day. Yes, and we respect them, but we do not fear them. We do not even try to dodge them in any way, because if we want to win Clash Masters, we have to face them anyway. So we do not care who we face. Obviously, there are some stronger and weaker clans, but that's not our way to do. So this is just false accusations.
Cool. Hey, thank you for such an honest and full answer. We've got the people have mentioned, Pero's mentioned it, and Type of Clash has mentioned as well. Arguably, Group B was actually a harder group. So whether you threw that war or not, or YOLO'd it and just kind of took a little bit of a less clinical approach to it, actually you ended up putting yourself potentially in a tougher group anyway. So that's what they're mentioning as well. But thank you for that. That's a cool answer. I genuinely was just expecting you guys to just say, no, we didn't throw. It's fine. And that would be the end of that answer. So yeah, that's cool. Right, let's talk about Worlds a little bit. We've kind of talked about it a little bit already, but I think the main thing I want to talk about is that every month, and I keep thinking that next month this question will change, or this sort of conversation will change a little bit. But every month we've seen different groups in the pre-qualifiers. Does that make you even more pleased that you're not having to deal with that and dealing with unknown quantities with the new teams and a change in meta and all that sort of stuff? And are you surprised with the variety of teams that you're seeing? There's sort of two elements there. Once again, I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you who's answering first. Boom, you're going to answer the first bit, which is, are you happy to not be here, to not having to deal with it? Deal with the sort of the different teams and the variety going on. And Ash, you're going to answer the second bit afterwards about, are you surprised to see the variety of different teams involved? Go for it.
I'm definitely happy that we do not have to care about any of those multi-finals anymore, that we just kind of relax back and just, I'm not sure, I don't even think that all of us waking up at 3 a.m. in German time to watch the qualifiers, but at least the last qualifier in Croatia, when we were together, most of us, actually some just went to sleep, but most of us were looking the qualifiers and just having a beer and looking, actually we don't care who qualifies. They triple, they failed. That we are happy about that. No, that's actually how it is.
And are you surprised by the variety of different teams? Are you surprised that MCS and Space Station Gaming, for example, haven't been back?
I would say kind of yes and no, because the meta is a bit too much on the luck side of tripling. Almost any good team can spam down some Inferno Dragons and Skellies or whatever, or this new clone thing, and with Dragon Riders and triple. So in that sense, how the meta looks, I'm not too surprised that we see so many different teams. But I'm also a bit sad that we don't see more of the same teams, because if you think about the competition, because the best teams should be normally at the top, but now there's nobody at the top. So I think the game is not balanced right if there's at least some frequency of the clans that qualify.
Cool. Yeah, so if you're not seeing consistent teams performing consistently, then you think there's a little bit too much luck involved. Were you?
Exactly.
You must have been a little bit happy to see Finland represented as an entire team. Were you happy to see Tori there?
Of course I was happy. That was super cool, and they performed really well in the qualifier. It was really nice to see. I was also watching the qualifier, but damn, I was sad when they dropped out. But they had a really great run. I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, oh man, do you know what? I messaged them on Twitter. I was like, do you guys want to come on? You've got so they were posting just these awesome stories about one of their teammates trying to go to the toilet and not being allowed to leave his camera and dive for a pee, and then them all just running in and bringing water and sort of pouring water all over the place and talking about waterfalls, all these sort of great chats. But they didn't want to come on the show. They were they just want to sort of fade and not do any media stuff, unfortunately, which is I'm gutted about that. But they sounded like they had an absolute belter of a time. So yeah, it's cool. I've got another question here that I've just sort of slotted in here from Time to Clash. You can tell that he's done some of these interviews in the past. We've got here, a lot is made of ATN's defences, but whose defence do you fear the most? Other than ATN, which team has the strongest defence? So not the strongest attackers, which team is the best at building? You can both answer this because you might both have different answers. I don't know if you want to go first, Boom, and then ask and have a think and answer as well. Or does no one have good defense in this current meta? Is that the problem?
Man, nah, it's not like this. It's actually, there are some obvious answers for sure, but I think kind of the thing is that I also am surprised from, like, for example, if I face teams like Team Zex or like how's like the Aphelion Esport, like some other teams who we did not face too often in previously. So
Yeah.
we actually have not so many experience of their bases, but so we actually don't have like this thinking of, oh, they have great bases, but still, I see sometimes if you face them, not often, but maybe sometimes, I'm like very surprised of how good their bases are. So
Yeah.
I can actually, I do not actually even remember which clan it was, but I can remember recent weeks, at least 3 times, I was very surprised how good their bases were. So there are some teams who are really not famous of having great base building, but they have actually their own base builders and they build really good bases. So I would say actually there will be always surprises of teams who have good bases, but if you still want to hear an obvious answer, I think Queenwalkers has a really nice base building. Just because, not really because of the base building itself, it's actually because they actually are very alike to us. They actually like bait specific entries according to the opponent.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what we also started to doing it. And that's actually what I fear, that they actually read our attacks really good and bait us into like within our attacks. So this ability of baiting is what Queenworkers have over other clans.
Cool. I like that. Asked, have you got anything different, or would you have said Queen Walkers as well?
Yeah, actually, the Queen Walkers was the only name that popped up in my mind, as well as who's consistently doing really well on defense, or which bases are difficult to plan on. But I feel like also on the other matches, like it's also personal preference a bit. Like sometimes the bases are really good against one strategy, so maybe I'm struggling, and then Boom is like, oh, a lot of plans on most of these bases. And then there's other times that I'm like, oh, but there's a lot of plans, and then someone else is like, I can't find anything. So it's not always about a certain team, except Queen Walkers that's doing really great bases. It's more about traps, I feel like, especially against Queen Walkers that we fear a bit. But also like personal preference. Just some builders build bases that seem easier to some people.
Yeah. I suppose that depends on what your favourite sort of strategy is. That's interesting considering that both you guys are really big fans of Lalo attacks. So similar-ish. Okay, we'll move on again. We've got the other thing. Now, this was in... There was... Yeah, one of the teams, I think it was Marcos Gaming in your pre-qualifiers, got disqualified. But the disqualifications for the disconnecting, I think there's been 1 month when that hasn't come up. Every other month we've had at least one team that's cut out. And Pero's done loads of memes about how the prize money, actually you can score it out because they've lost the whole of the prize money. Do you think Supercell are handling this rule correctly? Is it being applied too strictly? What are your thoughts?
Shout out to Pero's memes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think there's for sure room for improvement, because I don't think there's a single team that has cheated. It has only been about the connection, and they haven't had any kind of advantage because of the lag in the internet connection. So my solution would be that the computer, preferably that's recording it, is kind of saving the whole video, and that you could send it afterwards, and they could check that you didn't do anything illegal afterwards. Yeah. Because that little lag on the internet it's really unfair how people get disqualified because of it.
Especially, I mean, you guys are working off German internet that we all know is one of the worst. I lived in Germany for a couple of years, so I can go on to this. I can comment on this as well. So I think the finals are going to be the plan, they're not 100% sure if it's going to be live or online, but if it's online, is it something that you guys are worried about, or have you guys got workaround plans? Or Boom's nodding. Right, go for it, Boom. Tell us what you think. Are you worried about this?
I mean, let's assume the world champion is online. I mean, it's still the COVID situation is still there. So, if I have to play alone in my home, yes, I would be completely worried, because I am also, let's say, if any one of our alternate guys have problem, it's me or maybe Vale. But I think Mask, Ast, and Yo-Yo have a pretty stable internet connection. So it's me or Vale. So I would fear, if I have 10 seconds disconnection, then maybe we get disqualified. But the thing is that at least for this year, we want to meet up. I mean, it doesn't matter whether Supercell invites us or there is offline event or not. I mean, we have the resources to meet somewhere together in a boot camp, that we are together and playing at a home where we hopefully have the best internet ever, that we do never ever disconnect.
Yeah. All hardwired in and everything. Camwow, thank you for gifting subs and all that sort of stuff. You managed to do that right in the middle of a question, but thank you, man. Thank you so much for that. We've got loads of comments that people are talking about. Yeah, so guys, someone's talking about Supercell being cheap. It's not necessarily Supercell being cheap. It's that it's because of the COVID situation, and people they're trying to work out a way of working around the COVID situation. But yeah, I think that's something that, because it keeps coming up, it's something that's going to be a real concern, I think, for all players. And I don't know, I think Supercell maybe need to think about adjusting that rule a little bit, like you're saying, so that maybe a pre-recorded video, or not pre-recorded, the recorded video can be sent afterwards and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, we're on to viewers' questions now, guys. We've kind of overran a little bit, but I kind of knew we would. First one, right, this first one is from Adam. Guys, if you've got questions, chuck them in the chat. I'll try and catch as many of them as possible. We won't get through all of them, though. But we've got one last one from Adam. No vague answers allowed, he says. If one space opens up on the ATN roster, who would your favourite player be to take that spot? So who's that? So we had, obviously, Itsu and Mask. Who's the third person that was on that list? Who's the person you're thinking, I'd love it? Okay, and let's take away the whether or not you're allowed to poach anyone. They don't have to be they can be committed to another team. Who's the player that you're like, I'd love to play with them, I'd love to have them on my team?
I mean, let's say like this, if, for example, right now one of our players somehow retires, the player who I would love to have in our alternate team is Lenaide.
Well played, Boom. Asked you, are not allowed to use that answer. Boom has stolen the get out answer.
Damn, that was a good answer.
that was an excellent answer.
Like Boom listed, there's just so many different things that we're looking for in a player that we could play with. It's just really difficult. It's really tough to say who would fit in the team, personality-wise, skill-wise, motivation, everything. Oof. Not sure if I can name a person, sorry.
Who would you, so let's word it slightly different. Don't worry so much about ATN and them fitting in the team, but who would you just quite like to play along with and sort of think would be a really interesting player to play with?
I mean, maybe Tryhard.
Okay.
Tryhard could be. I don't know him personally, but I've heard only good things.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. I like that. Pfizer says, pick me. If only I'd seen that, Pfizer, just a second earlier, then he could have gotten that out there. But he said try hard, Pfizer, so there we go. There we go. Awesome. Thanks for that one. We've answered that one already. We've got another one. How many languages do you speak? Boom, you're obviously speaking English right now. You've got a bit of you living in Germany, a bit of Korean going on there as well. You got any other languages you got going on there?
I mean, I learned French in my high school years for 4 years, but I forgot everything. So I'm limited to those 3 languages.
What about you, Ast? How many languages have you got? Because I think basically all of Europe gets taught about 6 languages, whereas in the UK we've got like I can speak English and I can speak like rubbish German. So how many have you got?
Obviously, I'm Finland, so Finnish. Finland's second language, like the second official language, is Swedish. So that's also mandatory that we have to learn it in school. And then English, so 3 languages. I also took a couple of classes of German. I wish I took more. But yeah, I really can't speak any German.
Happy days. Next one, we've got Boom. How's the streaming going? You enjoying the streaming? I think it's funny that you said that your internet's terrible when you're one of the players on ATN that streams on his terrible internet. So are you enjoying the streaming still?
Yes, I'm enjoying streaming actually. I mean, I kind of had a long break and now I'm streaming only on weekends. Yesterday, for example, had like a 6-hour stream. Not really planned, but it was fun. So I just went on. I was very sick yesterday, and that's also very surprising that I still stream for 6 hours. Today I'm completely fine now. Yeah, my internet usually is bad, and that's also all which my viewers actually know. That actually during my streams, my stream is crashing every hour 1 or 2 times, and they're like, "Oof, okay, I will just go watch something else." But luckily, yesterday there were no crashes at all.
And Ast, have you ever been tempted to do some streaming?
Yeah, I did. I did some couple of streams like last autumn, pretty late or early winter. But the main problem is I don't really have time for everything at the moment. Like streaming could be fun, but I just have so many things going on in real life that I can't really fit it in consistently.
Happy days, happy days. There was one that was thrown up earlier on in the chat. People asking for stories from Croatia. You guys got any funny story that you want to share? That you want to throw on? I mean, if you tell a good story, this could become. We could change the title of the video to whatever story you tell us here. So, Pedro you mainly talked about football and Clash. What else did you guys get up to in Croatia?
Actually, it was actually kind of overall very chill and relaxing and fun. The problem was that the weather was let's say worse than expected. I mean, we expected kind of just sunny days over whole week, but instead, like out of the 6 days, actually the weather forecast at least said on 4 days it's raining. So that was very sad, but we still kind of enjoyed. We had a pool next to our, within our house. So we kind of chilled there a lot, and obviously we also played Clash, we played PlayStation, we went out for dinner. I don't think that there's something very nice story to tell, at least not on this here on the stream. I will just leave it like that.
Yeah, here's Mask coming in with a raid as well. Mask, welcome to the stream, man. Thank you for competing against Boom and Ast by streaming while they were on. But welcome to the stream, man. Ast, have you got anything you want to share about Croatia time? Does Boom snore, do you know, or did y'all have your own rooms?
I wasn't in the Croatia, so...
Oh, you weren't there? Oh, that's rough, sorry, man. That's a sore point I've brought up. And so was Pedro the substitute Ast? Is that what we're talking about here? Because Pedro was on the holiday, yeah? So...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he was like your Ast substitute.
I mean, Pedro is living in Croatia, so that was easier for him to travel to our house than us. Yeah, but he was the substitution for us. Yeah.
Happy days.
And Musk.
Someone's asked here, what language do you guys speak in voice chat? I'm assuming it's English.
Yeah, it's English.
Yeah,
obviously.
there we go. Yeah.
No.
Just based on the fact that the languages that Ast listed didn't include German, and boom, you can't speak Finnish, so, that kind of makes sense. Happy days. There was another good one further up. Wasman had a good one. I'm now desperate trying to find it. Do you have any rituals to focus or relax before an important war? And go for it. Let's do that one first. Boom, you got any special prep that you do? Any lucky socks that you wear or anything like that?
I don't have something fancy, but what I'm just doing normally is before my text, like tracking my fingers like that, so like this, just to like kind of remember my fingers that they are soon in action, kind of, that they should not fall asleep, like waking up from sleep. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Ast, what about you?
At least I always wash my hands because I don't want them to be like, sometimes they sweat a bit and they get a bit sticky. So I don't want them to be sticky on the screen. So I usually wash them before important matches. Not sure if I do something else. Not really, I guess.
Right, the second question, if there's one thing that you could change in the game, what would it be? Ast, I don't know if you want to start us off with that one.
The meta.
The meta. How would you change the meta? Would you add more traps? Would you nerf Dragon Riders? What is it that you would change about the meta?
I would just like that the tripling would be hard, and we would never see like perfect wars. That it would be more like 12, 13 most of the time, even the higher scores. Because I don't know, for a pro player, that just it's a lot more rewarding when you really have to do a good attack to 3-star, and it's not like I can spam something here and it went through.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What about you, Boom? What would you change?
Like actually kind of the same as last. I mean, I would like to have like a situation where we kind of cheer someone who actually tripled and say, "Ast, nice one, nice, you tripled," and not like, "Ast, good job, let's go next to the next one." I mean, this is the stage right now, but I want to go back towards Ast. Yes, you tripled. This would be nice.
And do you understand where Supercell are coming from with that? Where basically you guys are right at the top of the game, but then you've got muggins like me who still struggles to triple quite a lot of the time, because I don't play enough, and actually I'm probably better than a big old chunk of the player base, and Supercell wants them to continue to have the opportunities to feel good about themselves. Do you sort of understand that, or like it's a really difficult balance, isn't it?
Like I completely understand from Supercell's side that that's the problem. I mean, if I would be Supercell, I'd probably do the same as what they do. So yeah, it's just, I mean, I understand their point of view, and I actually would do the same, obviously. But we are not Supercell; we are actually pro players playing in the Clash of Clans competitive scene. And yeah, that's probably that's what we have to accept, kind of.
Yeah, cool, man. I like that. Right, okay, I'm trying to look for any more questions. There's been tons, and I've definitely missed some. Guys, we've had a whole load of follows and stuff like this. Lots of people making comments on your hand washing routine, Ast. So I like positive comments. I think people are liking that. Peril shared a story about one time his hands were so sticky that he washed them for a long time and they got wrinkly. I mean, Peril needs to come on the show, doesn't he? We need to hear more of these stories from Peril. I'm sure he'd tell us some stories about Croatia. Anyway, okay, here's a random one. What's your favourite kind of cheese? I think this is a good one to finish on. What's your favourite kind of cheese? Do we have a favourite?
Like, I'm not a cheese lover. I mean, I do eat cheese when it actually, like, in a combination with food, but I'm not a cheese lover that I actually can name a specific cheese that I call it as my favorite cheese, if it makes sense.
Mate, I love that you took answering that question so seriously when it's such a random question. It was a really proper answer. Asked, what do you think?
I think I would go with Brie.
Brie, love it. Paul, the guy that asked the cheese question there, was very disappointed by yours, Boom. But I'm sure he's going to be happy that Ask committed there. So, oh wait, and now we go, Lady B. Okay, we've got a much better. This is a good controversial one to finish on. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Mask won't agree.
Yeah, I, for example, eat rather pizzas without pineapples, but I would also take a pizza with pineapples. But I prefer rather not.
Boom, I can't believe you're on the fence about pineapple on pizza. Everyone else is a yes or no with pineapple on pizza. It's one of these things that divides the world. It's either yes or no, but you've managed somehow to straddle both camps like a diplomat. Amazing. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. There's so many questions. Maybe if you guys go on after you've got to finish Worlds and all that, maybe you'll come back on again and we can chat about how much you enjoyed Worlds or didn't enjoy Worlds. I imagine based on what you talked about earlier on, if you don't win, you're going to be proper salty and probably not going to want to go on any shows because you explained all that. Mask has left the chat. Mask has just typed that he has left the chat, so there we go. But guys, thank you so much for coming on. Guys that have been in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out. If you want to see this recorded, it's going to be on YouTube. I'll edit it all and get it all sorted out. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Thank you, guys. Is there anything else you want to say? Do you want to say anything about Mask? He's hanging out. You could out him right now.
I mean,
I just need to tell Mask. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. Just want to say thank you for the interview. I also had very fun to answer these questions. And looking forward for the video you will upload.
Cheers, man. Ask, what have you got? You were about to dish the dirt on Mask there, I reckon.
Yeah, I just think Mask is wrong. Like, all the Italians are wrong. The pineapple belongs to the pizza. But yeah, it was a fun interview, and thanks for having us.
No worries, guys. Thank you so much.